During debates like last night's showdown between Pence and Tim Kaine, one of the key goals for each campaign is to pick up the support of undecided voters. So did the vice presidential candidates move the needle at all in any way? It's too early to know for sure, but undecided voters in the swing state of Virginia spoke to the Wall Street Journal, and they say last night's debate did not help them make up their minds one way or the other. John Bussey's here. He's the associate editor, news editor at the Wall Street Journal. So they watched in Virginia and said,
Yeah. So our reporters found, we had a group of undecided voters, found some liked it, some didn't. The types of reactions that you're hearing more broadly about, both of them having been well prepared, knowing the issues, performing well, Tim Kaine interrupting too much, Pence not defending Donald Trump, all that came out. But you didn't get a feel that this was moving the needle. Now, mind you, undecided voters still in the high single digits. That's a significant number, particularly with a campaign that's this close in so many battleground states. It tends to be historically the vice presidential debate doesn't move the needle so much. And probably we'll find that to be the case this year because you have such very big personalities that are leading the two tickets. People are waiting for Sunday in the next presidential debate.
It's been interesting to me to hear from Republican insiders today. It's the insiders who seem to be happier after last night's debate. A lot of them taking deep breaths going, finally, there's some order might be restored. But that was done, according to Carl's reporting again, without the defense of Donald Trump, which Trump might have wanted. And you wonder if that really does anything at all. I don't have a way to know.
Yeah, does it rankle Donald Trump that he wasn't overtly defended all the time by Pence? Pence did a pretty good job of defending the broad scope of Donald Trump's agenda. He was there as the running mate, doing his job. There were issues though, like Russia, for example, people pointed out. That he didn't. So was Pence running for 2020? Was Pence doing this to consolidate GOP sort of support behind Donald Trump? He's in a lot of respects to the conventional member of the GOP, the conventional Republicans in the House and the Senate. He's a pretty attractive candidate, so he's a way of consolidating that establishment power around Donald Trump. That's something good for Donald Trump.
A couple of things are not up for debate. Prior to that debate last week, the trend line was in Donald Trump's direction. All the polls that we saw, not just national polls, but the state polls.
That's right, the battleground states.
All the battleground states. Yeah. That debate happened, and then all of those polls, all of them, the big important ones, seemed to take a turn in the other direction.
Yeah.
Now you move towards Sunday, and if this didn't make any difference, then Sunday is the big difference.
Yeah, and remember, a lot of other things then happened after that debate, right?
So
there was the sort of the carry-on of his criticism of the Miss Universe, and by extension, his comments about women and weight that got, a lot of publicity. There was the tax story in the New York Times that sort of reopened that can of worms for the Trump campaign. So all of that was a pretty bad week, and the polls that you're citing digest a fair amount of that negative news for the Trump campaign. So what's going to happen this Sunday? A very different format. It could very well have a similar spin on the campaign, but I think that we're still in a situation, having had last night's debate, where it's still a turnaround for the Trump campaign.